Welcome back to Factorio. My name is Nilaus and we are here on Vulkanus. We are about to finish up our first visit on Vulkanus. We've done in the previous episode, we first landed and made a little hub here. We then, last episode, we expanded it with cliff explosives and green belts. So now we have green belts and cliff explosives. We have foundries, big mining drills, and the local science. So all that is now taken care of. And what else do we want? Well, I don't like the idea of bringing things from Nauvis or bringing loading structures and rocket fuel to Nauvis when they're from Nauvis to Vulkanus when they're so easy to make here. Now, I'm still going to bring the blue circuits because blue circuits can only really be made better once we have electromagnetic plants. So we'll just hold off on that and get that done on Fulgora. That's why we want to go to Fulgora, but we want to make sort of now Vulkanus here a little bit more independent, and actually maybe also just make this one export low density structures and rocket fuel to the other planets because it's easier from here. That is an option. So that means we have two rather complicated builds that involve the coal liquefaction, and we have two spaces here. I have prepared the coal location here, and that is now ready to feed coal into the network. We do have green belts, but I think I want to make it without green belts so that you can make it cheaper if you want. You can also see that I'm just paving the world because that just looks nicer so we know how much space we have to work with. Right, so coal liquefaction is a beast of a thing, and we're going to just have a look at it. There's the basic one, which is very bad, but it gets us going. But then there's the decent coal liquefaction like this. We just completed a low-density structure upgrade 1. Let's go back here and switch that over. Now I want here I want that one there. So a little bit more ammunition is going to be what we want from now. This one, flip it upside down. We're going to need some heavy oil coming in. We are going to need some steam coming in. We are going to need some coal coming in. Then on the outbound side, we are going to get some beacons. That will be here, here, and here. And that'll be like this. I'll put you in and just get that one down here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly the same for this. And these are just going to go out. So this is kind of a module. It stacks, and we're going to make 4 of these. So this will give us a total of 151 of these. And that looks pretty reasonable. We're actually going to take 1 more of these down here. And that changes the numbers just a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. But we're going to need it. So 153 is our target and of how much we need to convert. So the next part is converting this into light oil. And we do that from... Oh dear. Let's see. Let's get this one. This is heavy oil conversion. And it'll need a beacon for sure. Then I need to figure out how I want to align it. I want to align it... How do I figure that out? It's always... Don't align it directly. But align it... 1 to the side. So that's going to be, oops, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's going to be it. And I'm going to flip them so that they're next to each other. Good. This will be how I want this. And the heavy oil. Like that. So now we have heavy oil. And the heavy oil should go like this. And here, these two go underneath, and that one. So we basically want to make sure that the heavy oil stays in this network. Let's see, like, can I just, shouldn't it highlight the network when I'm, no, it doesn't. Okay, never mind. And this will only push it out once this is requiring all the pipeline, and then this will just be in or outputting once you're more than, I don't know, not much, like 500 or something. We just need to make sure that it's stable in here. So that is the full heavy oil loop. Then we do the water loop because we need water in here. And we're also going to need water further up, so that's also fine. And then we take the light oil, that will go out here. 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 We don't have any Let's put it down there. Just so we get it. The water is that something? Yeah, let's do the water right now, just to figure out how we want to do this. So the water is a challenge, and I'm also seeing that this is way too far down. I'm gonna need to push you further up, like that. That's probably too far, but let's get it. So what I want to do is we need to make water, and the water is done on Vulkanus a simple way. We need steam condensing into water, and we need quite a lot of water. But actually, I'm gonna do this because I know I'm gonna need 2 of these. There. So that's steam inbound here, and the steam will also be going out here. So all this needs steam inbound. That's good. And I'll need water outbound. I can put you up here. So the water can be put... How can that be put somewhere? Well, unfortunately, we kind of have to go down there. And this is important. If I don't do an underground belt here, then it will collide with the other things. There. There. So that goes the water loop. Unfortunately, that's just how it has to be. Then I'm going to do some... Oops. Here. We're going to need to get the steam. And I am going to... This is affected by the beacon, which is very important. Oops, that one can also be put here. And just make sure... No, doesn't need it. And that goes in here. And this will be sulfuric acid inbound. And now I kind of know where I need to place this, because this will now be the lowest part of the build. So let's get this there. Good distance. And the coal is also coming in. So coal is coming in here, and sulfuric acid is coming in here. Okay, that's something. Technically, it's actually coming in right here. Do I want to start fluffing it in there? No, but I do. Doesn't matter. And then I need something here. Let's get this just 500 for all these high quality things. And that will produce 3.2. That's not even enough to keep this going. So I need to do this one. That's now 5.6. That's enough to keep these two going, ish. And also keep feeding this. So now we've taken care of the water. That's great. Then let's get up here. There. So now we're going to get the light oil out on the side. That feels weird to do it like this, but that's kind of just how we have to do it, right? No. Because there's a problem with this one. I'm going to do this. There. Ew, that doesn't work. That one works? Ish? Or this one works. Okay, so now these are all connected and go up here. And that connects up to that one. And that's the light oil. Light oil goes out here. Good. So now we have all the light oil consolidated on one pipe belt. Something. Do we? Not just yet, but we'll get there. Because the next thing we want to do is take all the light oil and convert it into petroleum, because that's kind of what we need. So here, if I build it at this point, it would be aligned. That's a no-go. So we build it like this, and this will be light oil. Great. Flip it and copy and flip it like this. How many do we need of these? 5. Yes. And then we need to do the water inbounds. We can probably do something here. There. That's the light oil. Then we need the light oil to go out. Can I do this? maybe all this is aligned. It can't, because this will... And that means I need to use this one here. I can do this. That's a weird situation we're in. That's a really weird situation. Oh, hold on. That goes here. Much nicer. And that goes here. And that goes here. So that's not up here at all. Great. Okay, things are starting to make a little bit more sense. Yes, so all the light oil from these are going into the outputs, the inputs here, which is consolidated with the outputs here. Okay, so now we have to figure out. That's basically looks like this. Here. That seems like a very simple way. And that one goes up here. Oh, I do need that light oil or petroleum to go here. There's always something, isn't there? Or we just get this one over. Nope. There. Much easier. I think that looks marginally less awful, which is a distinct measure. And then we need the water inbound. Here. And here. Don't need to go further up. There. And, oh, it does. So all of this is done, and then I need to put in power poles here and there, just to balance it all up. There we go. That looks very reasonable. And that is probably all there is to it. So this build is now taking care of getting a lot of iron. How much? Or a lot of petroleum. I'm using 23, which is a little much, but I'm not going to be using all of it. Now the next part we want to do is make the plastic. So that plastic is going to be made here. And all these things, even though they might be able to be like, oh, you could do it better by doing something, then there's also the point about what do we need? Because I don't need to do the plastic just for the hell of it. I need to do plastic because the plastic is what I need for the low density structure. So we're going to build the low density structure over here. That consumes about as much as we have. That's the challenge. And then we get... This could be closer. There. And this on the other side as well. Whoop. Let's just manage to get room for it. How much are you consuming? You're consuming about 8 of this and 157, 158. Okay, that seems also very good. These two go in here and these two go in here and not any further. You're there, you're there. And then on the outside, 1, 2, 1, 2, and... Nope, we can do this. And this is now the plastic. Great. And do we need to test it? I don't know. We probably should. So let me get some coal in here and just see that it works. Here is a funny little addendum I have added, because we do need some heavy oil to kickstart not just this one, but all of our builds. So basically what I want to do is just to make a tiny bit sort of done, is I've taken here. You are basically going in to say, just the ones that are used for the cliff explosives, I'm just also putting them into a box and then saying, you just want 5 of those. And then we're just picking them up here, getting them in, just getting 1, and then getting up to a maximum of 5 of these outbound. And then this one should be blocking. That means we now have a way to kickstart this, which should be very simple, and it's also very necessary. So up here we're gonna go this one. That will be unloading that one, and it'll also be using this measure here, and now only enable it when the amount of heavy oil in the system is less than 10. Like nothing, basically. And we're gonna get input and output. Oh, did we, why can we hear that? Oh, it's right there. Okay, that's still far away. That one, and then I just get a single barrel in here. Just a single one. So that barrel comes in, gets ejected. It will be enough to kickstart this, I hope. That one's not necessary. That one's not necessary. And let's see if that works. There is something inbound. And that should be able to kickstart it because it has to be inserted on the backside before this one here. Yep, it's getting a little bit. Yep, and also then the coal coming in. That's coming in now. That should make everything work here. And we start seeing, is it working? Yes, it is. So, processing, processing, processing. All of that goes around. Hopefully it gets into all this. We'll just confirm that it works. And we set the residuals up here. There should be enough, once the whole thing saturates, to keep all of these flowing. Right in the beginning, it will be over-consuming, but I think it'll be working fine in a little bit. There. Yes, that is working, and we're getting something outbound. All these seem to be working. These are already full, so that's fine. Good. This is a small build to just make plastic, about 20 plastic, right? How is it? Yeah, about 18.62 plastic. So the next challenge is going to be, we need to make use of this in a low density structure build. I'll build it here, and this is going to be like really miles between these. Like this, because that will still just barely be able to reach. And if this is, let's see, low density structures, then we rotate these so they're facing each other. And if I then want to make it a little bit better, I can do it so that they face each other and have the same up here. And I rotate again, and I rotate here. Yeah, this will actually be middle of this pack here, because then it can reach everything. And what I basically want to do is I want to say, this is one way of getting it inbound, so I take as little space as possible, and then we kind of do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to copy it here. And that will be like this. So this means that now I can just get that's connected. If I can get this inbound with iron and this inbound with copper, then all of it is fed. Great. Then I will get a middle of the line. I will get a plastic build. So this is how I imagine it's going to be. And we are seeing here with productivity modules in and speed modules, it's consuming 18, and I'm producing 18.6 of the plastic, so everything is perfect. It'll produce only a modest 6.68 of these, but maybe if we get more of the low density structure here, if we change this. Oh right, this one dipped below, so when that one goes above again, then it'll switch back. Okay, so it's just kind of switching back between these two. That's okay. Good. Then this is fine. Now the next step is going to be, how do we get things in here from this one? So I'll do this. That gets these two. And then the next two will be also a challenge. That will have to be up here. We'll do these two next to each other because why not? And then that one. And yeah, I think this one has to be moved up as well. One tile. It's still like this one is affecting the top three. This is about affecting the bottom three. So it doesn't change anything, but it gives us a little bit more room here, which I definitely need a little bit later. Then I'm going to get you in and you. So that means this is all of the plastic inbound. This will be the plastic belt coming from here. So that's good. Then we need to get outbounds, and I can't put like, I'll have to do 2 outbounds. So let's just see wherever it's possible to get an outbound. That's here, here, and here, I guess. Those are our options. Then we'll see if we can find a way to wrangle it like this. Good. Over on the other side, let's find the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the ones. And I'll be here. And not quite. And from here I can do. And that will be outbound. Great. Going into some boxes with LDS here. Or it can move up if you want that. Alright, so that is all of the low density structure, all of that going in. That is a great start. Well, now the point is, can we get plastic? Well, plastic comes in here. Right. I don't think I really want to hook it up yet because I might need to do some changes. Okay, so now the challenge is moving down. We need to build a location for this. And it's going to be a little bit difficult. So we need, if we look at it, how much we need quite a lot of molten and not so much. So it's 900 and 300. So if we have this one being able to produce not a lot, very much not a lot. Could I build some more modules for this? Yeah. And could I also make... Yeah. And one of these will change over to the iron one, because I think that's the ratio. Is this enough? Not even close. Damn. Then I'm gonna need to get one more in here. There. And these are now 900. Yes, but we then need some more for the iron part then. Down here. Let's do iron parts, which will be less severe. This one, it needs to be 300, so that's also fine. So we can do something like this. Here. That means we can now get lava in, coming in. And lava in here. And lava merged over to that side. Yeah. Yep, and that's lava inbound. Which would be the top row, right? Yes, top row. Good. So lava is coming in here, and it's also going to go over to that side. Alright, so lava inbound is fine. Now we need to figure out a way to get all of this stuff out in a reasonable manner. Okay, so copper needs to go in here. This one's easy. And then somehow we need to go down here. Oh, this is weird. There and there. And still just need one more, and that'll be here. And okay, so all of these, first of all, these consolidate over here. Go back, go up, and here. That works. Then we need to do the other one. That means I need to get space, and we'll get it at the same point because that's a dead space, and that will be like this. That's also working. Okay. Now the part that's a little bit more tricky with this is each of these need some of this. How much is this? 0. Okay, so nothing basically. Why do I do 500 every time? I don't know. There. And there. And Yeah, so the problem now is also you. We get a ton of stone outbound, which I have to deal with like this, which then has to go like that. And you're definitely gonna be there. And I'm gonna do the same thing down here. I can actually do this and trash unrequested. That means inbound, inbound, and up here. Wow. That should be it. Let's hook this one up. So that gets us all, and then let's hook that one up. It's starting to work. All of it seems to be working here. And you can see this is a really complicated build. And as long as this is running, it's getting all this. But the great news about this is that basically, if you think about the simplicity of it, you send one line, one red line. This is 30 per minute inbound, which will be fully used, but not overused, not underused. You'll send some sulfuric acid, which you have infinite of, and you send some lava that you have infinite of, and once then at the end you just get a lot of this. So if you need more, sure, it's only 6.7 or something at this point. Yeah, 6.6 at this point. It's not a lot, but it's per second, and it's a low density structure. And as we get more of this, that will also increase. So if you get slightly lower or higher numbers, then maybe you have more or less of the low density structure process here. We have 84% productivity, which is these 6, that's 24 plus the 50 from the foundry, that's 74 plus the 10 from here. So it's pretty damn good. And that gets us low density structure, and we don't need to worry about it. And if you want more, just hook up more and feed a line in. So I could just copy the whole thing over here. Or we can start on the second design, because there is another design that's pretty much the same thing. So we're going to skimp a little bit on this part. That's going to be focusing on building a good rocket fuel build. So let's start by making what I can describe as a really cool rocket fuel unit. It consists of a 3:2 ratio. And once you have that ratio, then it just becomes so much nicer. There. And these are going to make this. And these will make rocket fuel. Not fast, but a little bit. And that goes in. And so you need to go in here and in here. And everything is productivity module, because why not? Then we get beacons. Beacons will be placed here and here. Nope. Yes. Yes, here and here. Like so. And power poles will be placed here, here, and here. That gets everything powered. Then we are going to get a line out here. That will be the output line, which you'll be outputting 1, 2, 3 on here. And let's throw in a light for celebratory here. Then that, and that, and that. And I think this is a ridiculously good module. It is very slightly underscaled, but that is very, very close. Then the beauty of this build, you flip it and you got that. The beauty of this build, you get this and it tiles perfectly. I think that's amazing. And it just needs... And I need to build it a couple of tiles over here. And if I build it like this, and like this, then it works. So this thing here is a full module of rocket fuel, and then we just need a lot of light oil to get in here, which means we can use pretty much the same build as we have over on the other side. It's gonna be a little bit of the same, but I'm just gonna skip on the piping here. So this is the new setup for this one. There's now 5 of these modules. We don't need as much reprocessing here. So if we look at this, It takes 176 water, and one of these can easily do 76 water. That means we can also just have this one, which don't even need to have these in here, and they can instead be done like that. I should also do these here. No reason to have them use more power than necessary. And that means now the whole thing here should be ready to go. I will let in the coal. It won't work because it doesn't have any seed. So seed inbound, so we're gonna do that. And I will take this little design we already did. I'm building these two together because they're so similar. There. And that should get us a little bit of oil inbound. Once the oil goes in, then this will start working. And it will then be self-sufficient. What happens then is that if we go up here, then that can be put in here. But we do have an issue that we do have some petroleum. We don't have a lot of petroleum, but we do have, what is it, like about 30 of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one off. I'm going to kill everything in here. I will change this to be petroleum based. There. And this one is empty. And then I can just do... There. That gets these petroleum based. That means this will consume all the petroleum. If I look at the total amount this one is receiving, it wants 256 of this. If I take a look at this, I have 267, but I'm not producing all of it at once. There will be... No, maybe it is. But even then, it's pretty close to each other, which is exactly what you want to have. So I'm going to do here. And that will also be put into some boxes. This is low stacking, so I'm going to be putting multiple boxes here. And there we go. We have those two builds actually really neatly done right after each other. This will be making, let's have a look, once all is said and done, it will be making about 4, actually a little bit less. Not much, but let's say about 4 rocket fuel per second, which is does not sound like a lot, but it is actually quite a lot for compared to what we need. And this one will also be now available to potentially export to Navis, so we can relieve some pressure over there, because Navis is kind of struggling primarily. You can see here the plastic is pretty miserable, and the plastic is used for red circuits. And I mean, I can't scale up the plastic at all because this is defined as being outputting 30 per second, and it can't output any more than that. So this is just a constraint of the base. So if I could sort of take the consumption here out of it, then maybe we could get a little bit more reds with the available resources we have. So it's just like those kind of things to relieve the pressure. Also the rocket fuel as well. So if we can take those out, that would be really neat. And the way we would do that is we would actually go up here and we would go into the group, and then we would simply just delete these two, and we would go in here and then add them in here instead. Saying here, that will be, I think we can be a little bit more bold on this, and we have to change it over to here, and that will be this one as well. Also do 500, because let's be bold about this. There. And they will now be import here. What happens then is over on Navis, because we've changed the categories, then this is now automatically requesting it in from the other location up to the point where it already has it. So in order for us to prevent this from actually consuming, then we can just delete this build here. And I think that's kind of the safest thing, because then it doesn't get done. The only consideration is that then we don't have it flowing up on this belt here. And also, well, actually, I think the easiest way to do it would be to do this, so that now the load infrastructure on Navis is only going to be used to build this, while any other load infrastructure that is going to be used, which is exclusively for here. Also the same with rocket fuel. Rocket fuel isn't used for anything except this, so we don't need to have rocket fuel actually being produced at all. And that just means that these two inbounds don't need to be built like this. They could be just replaced. This whole build can be replaced with a requester chest. That one. We'll keep the blue as it is. Just catching up on this Vulkanus ship here, and we can see that it has departed Navis, and it has dropped off So a lot of the low density structure, not all of them, but some of them, and then it goes back here to capture more. That's great, because on Novice, I've just changed it so that now it's only coming in by Roboport or by logistics network. It's not very high. This is interesting. What are they doing here? Oh, this looks nicely buggy, doesn't it? Oh, that's wonderful. I wonder what that actually means. Like, you're waiting for something to come in, but they're not coming in, these ones. Ah, that's buggy. I don't know what else to say. I've never seen that before, because they want to get in here, but they can't. But they should, and they should be able to get in here. Interesting. Never seen that before. I guess it'll just be fixed by a deconstruction and a reconstruction, and then we'll figure out what happens. Interesting. But ultimately what this means is that now we have a more stable Vulkanus, and this Vulkanus is now relieving a little bit of the pressure off of Navis, because that is a miserable base, and we can see a little new influx of low density structures are being transported to orbit. That's going to be up here, and that is inbound with all of the stuff we want. Perfect. And then that means we are actually done with Navis, and we want to head on over to Fulgora. No, not Navis, with Vulkanus now, and we want to head over to Fulgora now. That's of course going to be in the next episode. What we're going to do is we are going to make another one here. That's going to be Fulgora export. I will build it over Navis, as we should, and that one will be made ready so that we can take off in the next episode. And that means we are going to head to Fulgora in the next episode. So, thank you very much for watching. Remember, these blueprints that we are now here, these two really cool new modular blueprints that fit in a city block. They are, of course, available to Patreon supporters. So, if you are supporting on Patreon, just go ahead and grab these and improve them, test them, point out errors in them. I'm not going to be able to fix these because I'm going a little bit on vacation, so I'm pre-recording a few episodes. But I will get back to it and fix any mistakes there are in these blueprints. And I'm sure that there will be some. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.